when we say human potential, unleashing, it is not the peak, it is a trajectory. Because what our life is a combination of a certain amount of time and energy. Time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. If you sit, it rolls away. If you sleep, it rolls away. If you do something, it goes away. If you don't do anything, it goes away. You're happy or miserable, it goes away. Time is running out for all of us. So it's only the energy that you can do different things with. If you bring your energies to a certain level of intensity and possibility, what somebody does in 10 years, you may do it in 1 year. This means if you live here for 100 years, it feels like in people's impact that you have created, it feels like you lived here for 1,000 years, simply because you have managed your life energies in a certain way. So for me, a human being impactful means, how conscious have you become? This is very important. Because if you're in compulsive cycles, then your energy gets wasted in so many things. If you observe people in a day, let's take 24 hours, in that anyway most people by prescription in America they sleep for 8 hours. So 8 hours means 1/3 of life is gone. In the remaining 2/3 they have to eat, they have to, shower, bathroom, this, that, all this, another 2-3 hours gone. So literally 50% of life is gone, daily basis, just for basic maintenance of this life. 50% of the time is gone in maintenance. The remaining 50%, what they have, if you look at every single move that they make with their body, their thought process, their emotions, you will see a whole lot of it is happening in compulsive cycles. Or in other words, if you are little sensitive to life, you will realize you are the biggest issue in your life. So this is one thing that I'm trying to do with people, that you are never the issue in your life. I'm not the issue. My thought, my emotion, my body is never the issue. My thought, my emotion, my energy and my body are my instruments of function. They are not impediments in my life. But I would say to 90% of the human beings, their own body, the compulsions of the body, the compulsions of their thought, the compulsions of their emotions are ruling them most of the time.
The notion of the difference between pain and suffering I thought was very useful.
See, pain is physiological, it's there. If there is no pain, most people would not even know how to protect themselves. See, just because there is no pain in this, see what all you have done to it. See, there is no pain in this. So that's why you took it off. If there is no pain in your nose, maybe you would have taken it off. Because there are many advantages. You will take in about 22% extra oxygen if you just remove this one thing, protection. Wherever there is no pain, people are messing with it like crazy. They call this hairstyle, they call it so many things. Suppose there was no pain in the entire body in Los Angeles. People would pull out their stomach bag and you think they would do it?
Right, I don't know.
Only pain is helping them to preserve themselves. So pain is good. There is no physiological pain. Most people would not know. I hear in the United States there is a group, they call themselves something, I've heard that word. They're actually cutting their fingers off, the jeans off, on the video.
Whoa.
They're posting it online. There's a group like that.
Whoa.
Can you imagine this?
No.
In spite of so much pain, if there was no pain, almost everybody would have cut themselves off in the name of fashion, they would have cut themselves into ribbons.
Wow.
So pain is a good thing.
Nearly 80% of the homeless population are oxygen counted, suffering from mental illness or addiction. Prop 1 creates new facilities to treat mental illness and builds housing to get people off the streets. It's a moral imperative. Yes, on Prop 1.
So pain is a good thing physically, because that is your preservation or self-preservation mechanism. But suffering is something that you do in your mind. So pain that happens in your body, you take it in your mind and multiply it 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times depending on how capable you are or how stupid you are, and suffer it 1,000,000 times over. Right now, most human beings are like this. What happened 10 years ago, they can still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. They are not suffering life. They think they are suffering life. They are not suffering life. They are suffering the two most fantastic faculties that human beings alone have: a vivid sense of memory and a fantastic sense of imagination. The survival process has become easier than ever before. Believe me, in the morning, if you need a bucket full of water, if you have to walk a mile to the river to get one bucket of water, and your family needed 25 buckets of water, you would have no time to mess yourself. Now you have a lot of time to mess yourself because our survival is better organized than ever before. Another thing is, most human beings do not know how to manage their biochemistry without physical activity. I have seen a whole lot of people, particularly teenage boys and girls between the ages of 12 and 16, who come to me with some severe, violent problems within themselves. If you leave them like that, they may kill themselves or kill somebody else. They're in that kind of state. Many of them have even killed their parents, it has happened all over the world. And in 2017, when I came to know that in India, which is not so much suicidal in that sense because there's a huge family support and stuff like that, in spite of that, in 2017, 18,600 children below 18 years of age committed suicide, out of which 7,200 are below 15 years of age. So 12, 13, 14-year-olds who must be bubbling with life are wanting to take their own lives. Why? Obviously, we're doing something fundamentally wrong with the society, isn't it?
Yes.
Our goals and our stupid ideas of what is success is driving them nuts. Because we are trying to use our children like racetracks.
That's interesting. And when you say that, is something that represent us, that we've turned into something amazing, or in what way are they like racehorses?
See, when you understand life as a race, if you're in a race, what's the objective? You must reach the finish line quick, isn't it?
Yes.
What is the finish line of your life?
Death.
There you have it. It may not be a complete process, but life with the Lord is understanding it. When you see, you must understand this, whether you are conscious of it or not, every human being. Right now, if you make yourself miserable, you must understand you are sending a message to every cell in the body that I don't want to live. You might not have articulated it in your head yet, but when you become miserable, you notice suddenly your body seems heavy and it's like, doesn't want to get up from this chair. Have you seen this?
Yes.
When you're happy, you're willing to bounce at everything and do everything, bend backwards if necessary. Why this is happening is the message has gone to every cell in the body, this guy wants to die. They're all thinking, okay, what can we do to help him? But by then, of course, you've recovered. So you want to die, you want to live, you want to die, you want to live. The body is getting confused. Because you must understand this is a very intelligent body. It's taking instructions from you. Every cell in the body has an enormous sense of memory and intelligence. If you keep sending wrong messages, if they ask, you're dead. Because you're sending contradictory messages, you're not dead, you're half dead. You can give it any number of exotic names. Essentially, you have turned your intelligence against yourself. It was supposed to work for you, but now you turn it against yourself, it's working against you. Perception happens to you in 5 different dimensions. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. This is how you're perceiving life. This data has gathered within you. Only because this data has gathered within you, now you're able to walk on a round planet which spins. It's not a small thing. It is not a small thing that you're able to walk on a spinning round ball. Because all this data has gathered through five senses, it is not intellectual information, but it is a perceptional information. If this information is not there, you won't be able to walk actually. You will not be able to walk straight. This is what is happening for people when some people lose their memory and things like that. Suddenly they become unstable in their body because some of the data is gotten disconnected with their system. So this data that you perceive is most important. That's what a child is all the time drinking up everything. You see how the child is looking at everything because he wants to drink up as much data as possible because instinctively he knows without the data he will not be able to function. So how attentive you are,
can't beat that.
how attentive your eyes are,
Auntie Linda, eat.
how attentive your ears, nose, tongue and touch is, accordingly you have that much, that much
You got the press
usable
conference.
information.
The other ones
So
on
why
there?
one
What's
person
that fight
is
coming
more
up? The
efficient while you
influencer
are
boxing?
asleep?
Oh yeah.
Why
Yeah, he was hella
one
funny,
person is
dude.
able to catch
Yeah.
a damn ball?
Which one? One where they call cupcakes?
Yeah, it's the same one, but it's one before.
Because that
Black
level
dude,
of
DK.
attention of
Black
exactly
dude, DK.
how that ball
He's
will
like a
behave,
fat guy.
how you
Okay.
can
I don't know his
anticipate
name, but
where
I'm
it
calling
will
him fat
go.
guy.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is not there.
Well,
Intellectually,
it was hella funny. I
suppose
put it on
you have a
a minute.
PhD in football. You think you can play football?
Listen to mind motivation, that Indian man.
If you have a PhD,
Right.
no, I think you need to experience it as well. If you just study it only, yeah.
No, that is not experience, it's perception. You're watching it out of your keen interest, you're watching exactly how a ball moves. You may not be thinking the physics of it, but you're watching it and perceiving it. Because of that perception, you know something that you cannot know by reading 100 books about it. First of all, people are assuming that anger is happening to them or misery is happening to them. No, this is exactly what I said earlier, maybe I didn't articulate it fully.
Yeah.
No, you are creating anger, you are creating misery, you are creating joy, you are creating whatever. All this is happening from within you.
I know,
But
they're
the
like
human
more, huh?
experience is happening from within us, isn't it?
Right.
Whether it's love or hate or anger or misery or joy or anything is only happening from within us. The simple question I am asking is, what happens from within you? Should it happen your way or somebody else's way?
It should happen your way.
Of course, because the world will never happen your way 100%. Because there are so many
That's pretty wise,
stakeholders in the
pretty
world.
wise man.
Little bit will happen my way, little bit your way, that is fine. But what happens within me must happen my
Your
way.
body.
If what happens within
Body's
me
confused.
does not
Basically
happen my
like
way,
like
this
Hulk Hogan
is the
said, up and
worst
down, up
form
and
of
down.
slavery, isn't it?
Hogan,
Wow.
that's what I'm telling you, bro. That testimony,
Somebody
Hogan,
decides
not just
what
Hulk
happens
Hogan,
within me.
pastor,
Somebody
going to
decides
Bible
where I should
study,
sit. This is
trials,
somebody, everybody
tribulations in
understands
life.
this. Now somebody
down.
decides whether
But
I'm happy or
Hogan telling
unhappy.
me that,
Isn't
I'm
this
not
the
telling
worst
me
form
that,
of
I'm telling the
slavery?
world that, praying for
Yeah.
the world about 3 days ago now.
So this is
That
the
Hogan,
position
that
that
powerful
humanity
Hogan
needs to
testimony,
work at.
Hulk Hogan
This is what
testimony,
inner engineering means.
that changed my
Inner
life
engineering
because
is not
not only is he
some,
my idol,
mechanical
my number one
process.
hero, childhood
Because
hero,
engineering means
next to
this
my dad,
essentially.
you know what I'm saying?
You will
Yeah.
say
But outside of my
something is
dad,
well engineered.
this
Only
is
if
outside
it
of my
works
dad,
the
which
way you
it'll
want.
never be outside of my dad. But this is
If
the
this
wrestling
one doesn't
part
work
and
the way
the
you want,
icon part and the
What the hell
childhood
are you
hero part.
expecting other things
Hogan's
to
my
work the
childhood
way you
hero,
want?
my number one
Just an
childhood
accident.
hero.
When you live accidentally,
Like
anxiety
second
is
to my
normal.
dad.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
My dad's my number one hero.
Why the
But when Hogan said that, Hulk Hogan said that 3 days ago in his powerful testimony, I remember that's what my dad told me back when I was arguing with my first love, Roxanne, right? Back in 1999, I lived in the Grove Apartments. You hear me?
Yeah.
Many years ago, back in 1999. I lived there until
This is 8
2002.
hours, is it?
2002.
Seven,
But I lived there after my grandma passed away.
Seven hours.
My grandpa got me the apartment. And the
And
Grove,
what
the,
are you
the Grove's
100% gonna do with
apartment,
half of
apartment
that?
106. But there was
See,
something my
one
dad
thing
told
is-
me, and he was standing, I told you that
As we
yesterday.
already went through.
When he was standing in
very
the doorway, and
physical
it all
body that you
came back
have
to
is
me,
just
the
the
memory
food
that was
you
buried
eat,
in my head,
isn't it?
that came back to me. And I
You're
remember
looking
exactly
at
my dad was
food
wearing black
only
khakis,
as,
like
protein,
Dickie pants,
vitamin,
black Dickie
mineral
pants.
like this.
He was wearing a
But
boss.
we're
That's what it was,
talking
not, it was a
about
boss.
a food
It was a
chain.
boss shirt.
That means
It was yellow,
they're all different
yellow,
kinds of
white,
lives.
and black, striped going down.
What we consume
And he
is
had
another form of
his
life.
black skull
Every
cap on.
animal
And he was
consumes
standing in the
another form
doorway.
of life.
And he
This
goes,
is the way
son, I'm not going to be going up and down with you like that. I'm not going to be going
So
up and
what
down with
condition
that. Of
that
course, he's
life
referring
is
to
will
Roxanne.
determine.
Us fighting, not fighting.
In
You know,
what
my first
condition
love.
your
I'm not
life
going to
is
be going up and down with you.
in
You know,
this.
she's been gone for like a whole month, came
So
back.
you food up
going
yourself
up and
on the
down.
brain,
He
if
probably
I
going
just look at
through
it.
himself. But he's also
People have
teaching me,
provided
his
with
son.
elaborate care. If I
He goes,
just look
going
at it
up
and
and
say,
down, up and down. up and
This
down,
is
up and
no
down, up and
Sadhguru,
down. You go, son,
Sadhguru, this
I'm
girl,
not gonna be
this
going up and
lady,
down.
got it,
I'm not
she's
gonna be
very
going
good
up and
cook.
down with you behind
She's
this girl.
very
Either
tasty.
you're gonna be with her, you're not
I
gonna
just
be with
look at
her.
it and say no.
You know what I'm saying? I like Roxanne. You know what I'm
Simply
saying?
because it's not alive enough for me.
It's not
It
about
may be
Roxanne.
tasty.
It's about.
But it's not
and
alive
Roxanne.
enough for
My whole
me.
family loves Roxanne.
If it's
Roxanne's
not
a good
alive
person.
enough, I will not
It didn't
consume.
work out.
If
I
you
still
just
love her.
conscious of this one
unconditionally
thing,
though, not relationship
you will
wise.
see your sleep quota
But-
will go down.
Unconditionally forever. But
Another
what I'm
thing
saying
is,
though is that
most
when my
people
dad
are
said I'm not
eating
gonna be
at
going up,
least
I remember him
50%,
standing in the doorway going, I'm
50%,
laying in bed.
100%
You know, I'm not gonna be
more
going up
than
and down
what
with
they
like
need to
this.
eat.
I'm not gonna be going up and down, right?